Married at First Sight season 13. Every season there is a villain, and we automatically tagged Myrla the villain of season 13. But after we saw Miss Michaela, are we still thinking that Marla is the villain? Or is Michaela the villain that y'all is gonna be forced to love? Because I said it last week. Help me out in the comments. I have my people in the comments, honey. I said it last week. I said, what if Marla is not the villain? And let me tell you what I think Meredith First Sight producers did, because they're messy. Okay, they're evil and messy. This is what I think. They initially wanted us to think of Myrla as the villain. I don't have any problem with what Myrla said so far done. I do agree with the makeup people. She could have been a little bit more soft. I think Marla's issue is her tone. And Myrla is used to a certain kind of lifestyle, because there was another clip of her with the extremely cheap Gil, that's his name, extremely cheap Gil, at the resort, and she was like, well, I wasn't expecting my honeymoon to be at the senior citizens home, and I was hollering, and Gil was sitting there eating out of Tupperware, not Tupperware, the food containers. And he was just so glad, because, he probably had never been nowhere, okay? The people like Gil is glad for anything, because they ain't never been nowhere. So, you take them from Irving to Newark, and they're like, oh, John, this is so nice, John, because they've never been anywhere, okay? So I think the producers wanted us to initially think that Myrla is the villain, and then we gonna see Michaela acting crazy, and then you're like, well, wait a minute now. How is Myrla the villain just because she don't want no cheap man, baroque man? She's not trying to compromise, lower her lifestyle. And then you have Michaela slamming doors. I do agree with the person who says she did not break the glass. You could see, here it is. You could see the glass in the picture. I don't think I said she broke the glass, or that must have been somebody else. You can see the glass in this picture, and she's running to slam the door, saying, get out, get out, get out. Or are you guys going to make excuses for her because y'all liked her initially and y'all hated Myrla initially? Are you going to be forced to make excuses for her and say, oh, she might have some medical problems? Granted, she might have. And if she has medical problem, does that mean she can't be the villain? Because we see her extremely aggressive with Zach, yelling and screaming, get out, get out, get out of here. There's another picture on here where she's yelling, I can't. I'm waiting for that one to come on, because y'all sensitive. Y'all is gonna say, oh, I'm putting down the black woman when the black woman is on the TV acting crazy. Okay. So I want you guys to think about, because I've been thinking about this. I've been meditating and running this over in my mind since last week. I said, you know what? What if Myrla is not the villain? But they want to plant the seed that she's this uppity. See, I never thought that. I'm fine with her, because I was like that. With the exception, my tone, I know how to work my tone, okay? I know how to work my tone. And so that's not an issue for me. But I was very much, this is what I want. He had to make at least this much. You have to put me in a house. This is what I need. I wasn't trying to live less than my lifestyle. I wasn't trying to be with no cheap man. I want to live a modest life, and I live a very modest life. I'm not one of those girls that have to drive a Benz or whatever. We have an American-made car in the driveway, a Chrysler something. I'm not. My thing is comfort. I want to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable in the house. I want to have food. I want to spend my money when I want to spend the money. I want to go on a trip when I want to go on a trip. And so I was sharing that, we just went away from my daughter's weekend. My son's weekend is in birthday's Jan. We already know where we're going, and that money's already there. I don't like living on the edge. I don't like being without. So I don't have a problem with Myrla, and I think it's just her tone that needs to be adjusted. And so think about it. What if they wanted us to plant the seed that Myrla is the villain, when in fact Michaela is the villain? But because y'all hate Myrla so much because you're jealous of her and you don't have her money and you don't have options like she do, you're going to be forced to hate her and forced to love her and make excuses for her. And there's also two differences between these two. I ain't gonna say, but if somebody get it right in the comment section, I will send you a free book. Okay. What if they wanted us to initially think that to plant the seed to make you biased? Because now, do you hate her because she want what she wants and she don't want cheap man Gil? She's not trying to compromise her life. What do you do with this? What do you do with this other picture? Let me show y'all. But what do you do? Now what do you do? Do you still call Myrla the villain because she don't want broke Gil? And will you be forced to make excuses for this one? I just want to know. Think about it, girls. Think about it. Because, I think about this stuff. I'm not emotional about this stuff. I can really think about this stuff and I can really see through things. Okay. It's a gift I have that I can see through what people is trying to do. That's why I never got caught up with the men. I've never had a story where, I thought he said he was gonna marry me. I thought he said he loved me. We was gonna be together. Oh my God, I gave up the cookie and he was just using me. I've never had one of those stories. You'll never hear me have one of those. That's never been my testimony. Never. Because I can read people very well. I read men very well, and I already knew what they was trying to do. So I wasn't trying to bye. Bye. Okay. Are you gonna be forced to hate Myrla because she don't want cheap Gil, but make excuses for this one? Because you just hate Myrla so much, but then you're going to make excuses for her. And who is the real villain? I just want you to think about it. Are they putting us against these two women in our minds, saying, oh, you know, Myrla is such a terrible person. She's so full of herself. Oh my gosh, she's awful. She's terrible. How could she not want good looking Gil? But in the same time, you see this and you're like, well, what do you do or say about this behavior? I just want you to think about it. Because, you know, y'all is emotional, not the cousins. The cousins, y'all start to get it. I have to run. I have to run. I love you. Today is Wednesday. Usually it's my day off, but I have to schedule a change and I have to go in today. All right, babes. I love you. Let me know what you think. Remember my books on Amazon. Show me some love and support. And of course, my t-shirts are on Etsy. Bye.